Alright, this is just going to be a quick Bitcoin video. I want to go over my trades currently and my trading plans and just do some analysis on Bitcoin because it has had, some relatively decent price action the last couple days. It's been a lot better than it has been, at least. I am still in the long trade. Right now I have, pretty decent amount locked in percentage-wise, about 2.5% locked in, another almost 1.5 in unrealized. And I went over this trade in yesterday's video, and since yesterday we've continued the structure. We put in a higher low before another higher high, higher low, and we have finally gotten a move up to the higher time frame, higher high. So we could potentially be continuing the higher time frame structure here, and this could be a higher time frame, higher low. So let's take a look at the high. Did we break it on any significant time frames? So originally I called this 30-minute structure, so let's check the 30-minute first. And right here we had, this original wick of it, very shallow wick, didn't go very much above that high. But then if you take the break of structure line from that wick, we did close a 30-minute candle above that high. So it is a break on the 30. But if you go to the 1 hour, it is a wick. We actually SFP'd it on the 1 hour with the break of structure line now being up here. We actually just came up to wick it again. So that is something to keep in mind. But if you check the, let's see, it was 3 hour and 4 hour, we got a break of structure on those time frames. I may actually take a look at the higher time frame structure from this high up here. So, if you took it from the low, obviously it's just up, down, up. So I guess you could call that a pull-in structure, but I want to see what the structure looks like from this high. So we had low, high, low, high, low. So that was a very weak break, but we did end up coming lower anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Might as well consider it an SFP. So we had lower high, lower low, and pull a line across from over here. So technically, we actually just broke the structure from this high back to bullish by closing a 4-hour candle up above this high, because originally we SFP'd it. So if we continue the structure, we came up to get that SFP. It's not a break in structure, but if you get a break in structure later, it still counts as structure. So we technically have a higher high, even though it's an SFP. It's not a confirmed break though, till we put in this higher low and then this higher high. So we did technically break the structure from that high bullishly. Another thing to keep in mind is so far it is not a strong break. I mean, we didn't close that far above the last higher high, so it was not a strong break in that sense, and we have not seen good follow through yet. That could change. We could just pump up right now and then it would be good follow through. So, I'm not going to call that too early, but so far we're not seeing good follow through. So now that we have that in mind, let's talk about some of my plans. So I did take this short. I took a short from that high. It was an SFP on the 1 hour and on the lower time frames, like on the 5-minute. We did have some structure here. We put in a 5-minute higher low before we wicked that high again. This was the SFP that I shorted, and I treated this as a scalp trade. I only took a 0.5% risk on this. So this was very much a scalp trade. But, we did see some market cipher confirmations, some divergences, and money flow bleeding out as we took out that high. We saw a nice reaction away. So everything considered, I decided to just take a little scalp, also to hedge against my long. So, I already de-risked this short. I'm not going to keep my stop loss up above the high and just hope that we dump from here, because I don't think we have to. We could just put in another 5-minute higher low and make our way up to this important box up here that we just kind of front ran. So I did de-risk the short already. I covered fees basically, and if I get stopped out, which I moved my stop loss down a little bit, it was originally up above this high, it'll be like a 16-cent loss. So I significantly de-risked, and now, if we come back up to SFP this high again, I may look for another short trade. In fact, I may be more aggressive with that one. Because like I said, we just front ran a very interesting level, I think. I still think this is a significant area. It is, the last little range before we got this aggressive move to the downside. And this move to the downside did eventually break structure. So, structure looked like this. We had a higher low here. We came down to SFP it after that aggressive move, but eventually we did come down to actually break structure there. So I would consider this significant supply, and we also just front ran the golden pocket, and I think there was a point of control in that area, at least last time I checked. I'm pretty sure I pulled it like this, and yeah, the POC is up there. Let's see, taking it to the actual low. Yeah, that changes it. So I still think this area is significant, especially if we get a retracement here before getting a move into there. Because if we do that, looking at the 4-hour structure, if we get a pullback here and then maybe come back up to this area later, we could get a 4-hour break in structure bearishly following a move into there. So that would void that 4-hour bullish break that we just got. So I am still looking at that as a possibility. Also, maybe if we retrace, maybe we just come up to SFP this high and get a move into there, and maybe then we come down to break structure. So those are some things I'm watching with that area up there. And also, if we get a move up to that zone soon, it could be a local distribution, with this being tap 1, this being tap 2, and this being tap 3. That's another idea I'm looking for. And the way I'm looking to manage my long, obviously if we come up in SFP this high again, get a move into that supply, I will probably take some more profits. Or if we start to break structure here following this SFP, like if we break the 5-minute high or low, I may also consider closing my long then. I think, if we start to break structure here, there's a good chance that we do start to retrace a little bit. Maybe we just put in a 15-minute high or low. But if that's the case, I can close my long once we close a candle bearish as a bearish break. And then if we flip it back to bullish later, I can look for another long trade. Just considering, we got a weak break to begin with. We've gotten SFPs of the high. If we then come down to break structure, there is a chance that we just retrace all the way down towards my stop loss, and maybe we put in a higher low down here. That's also possible. So yeah, if we start to break structure here following everything that happened up here, I'll probably close my long and take my profits. So those are just some local ideas I had. I still do want us to get a move down to this low at some point, which is why I'm interested in shorting this zone. I'm kind of hoping that, we get some kind of bearish development up here, some kind of good short opportunity, and that it produces a move down to this low. I think ultimately that would be more bullish, because if we just start pumping up now, we really wouldn't be in a bullish environment until we break this high up here, because that is a 4-hour market structure point, and that is, in the premium section of this larger range. And, if we do just start pumping to the upside, maybe even taking out this high again, there is a good chance that, if we see a short opportunity, like a high time frame market structure break, maybe that just sends us down. Maybe we're not going to hold this low. I think if we're going to see any bullishness, if we're going to get a rotation back to the upside, it would be logical to take out this low first, take out the initial longers, and give an opportunity to shift market structure and maybe get some good long opportunities. I think that'd be the logical play, but who knows what's going to happen. I'm not too focused with the larger time frames right now, because for the last how many weeks we've literally just been ranging here, kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. So I'm more focused on the local ideas. If the local ideas can play into my bigger ideas, then cool. I'm not sweating the high time frames too much right now. But anyways, that's all I wanted to go over in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next video.